Second car here I'm going to look at is Williams Wallet. You see row 10, starting back in 20th. Now he's going to go to the rear. Starting 6th, maybe my favorite throwback in the field today. It's a tribute to my 2010 Daytona 500 and Brickyard 400 winning car. Second car here I'm going to look at is Williams Wallet. You see row 10, starting back in 20th. Now he's going to go to the rear, but this car was incredible when it was run. Kyle Busch's 2016 Xfinity Series scheme. He won 10 races that year, but only raced in 17.
I'm going to drop back to the 26th position. Driver 4 is Parker Retzlaff, and he's running the Ernie Irvan throwback. That's going to take us back to 1991 when Irvan won the Daytona 500. And starting deep in the field today, qualified 32nd, Anthony Alfredo. And this is one of my favorites because he's throwing back, Jamie, to you, your first career win when you were filling in for Sterling Marlin. A great scheme from 2002, 2005. Now we go to Kim King.
Let's talk about Sheldon Creed, who collected his 14th runner-up finish last weekend at Martinsville, still looking for that elusive first win in the Xfinity Series. And what better place to come than one of his favorite racetracks and a place where he has found success in other series, having won twice in the Truck Series. This track demands a lot from a driver, and Sheldon said he feels like it suits his driving style extremely well, specifically his ability to search for different racing lines and use the top if he needs to. He qualified in the 10th position, and Dylan thinks their car is very close.
And Kim, last week's DNF at Martinsville was the first for Jesse Love since June of last year. This weekend presents a good chance to get things back on track, finish in the top 10 in both races here a year ago. Crew Chief Danny Stockman said their car was predictable this morning and how it changed over the course of their practice laps. They've got a good game plan today and roll from 11th.
And now we talk to the pole sitter, Christopher Bell. Why don't you dial him up, Jamie?
Let's see what he has to say. Hey, Christopher Bell, this is Jamie Mack up in the booth. You know, you won this race last November when we were here. We hear all the Cup drivers talk about, you know, coming back and running the Xfinity Series. Why come back and run this weekend?
Yeah, this is a really special race for Sport Clips, and I'm just honored to be able to be the driver that gets to represent the brand in this race, and had a lot of fun doing it last year.
Darlington, green flag in the air, and we're off at the track. Too tough to take.
Great initial start by Bell in the outside lane, and you mentioned that outside is preferred. You see the run he gets kind of sweeping around the top as these guys all trying to get settled in. This part right here off of turn 2 gets so narrow as you see Taylor Gray getting a little bit loose on the exit of turn 2. Allgaier right there on the inside. The bottom of turns 3 and 4 where you see the red number 7, that's good. Like on new tires, it's a shorter distance. You can hold the throttle down. As you see, he's able to maintain on the inside of those guys. But the draft right now is playing against the 7 car. Those guys all on the outside are able to use a little bit of the draft.
1, 2, 3 for Joe Gibbs Racing as Taylor Gray jumps to that 3rd position. Black and yellow, number 54. And up to 4th is going to be Sam Mayer driving the 41. A throwback to Kurt Busch when he won the Daytona 500. Looks good in that Haas Factory Ford.
Yeah, and it's been an incredible year for Sam Mayer. It's run well in every type of racetrack we've been to. But I think back to Homestead, and I know Larson dominated that race at the end, but Sam Mayer was the 2nd best car. You're going to run a similar type line at a track like Darlington. He's good at entering high, running right against the wall, all the way around it. I think when you get back later in a run here at Darlington, the tires start to wear out. That's when Sam Mayer is really going to excel. And you see that piece of grass out of put up on the hood. If we zoom in on Sam Mayer's car, the throwback scheme, they've built that into the graphics. So incredible job by that team and what they've done.
Tremendous detail when you talk about executing the paint scheme. Great job, as you said, early in the year for this race team executing on track. The one is Carson Quample. That's a throwback to your win. You talked about it in our starting lineup. Behind him, they are racing hard. You got a veteran and a youngster, 17, Chase Elliott, and the wheeling on board, you're riding with Jesse Love.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep the throttle down in the position Jesse Love was in right there. On the flip side of that, it's really sketchy being on the outside of turn 2 on the exit. It's a little bit rough.
But regardless of what he's doing, Brandon Jones not going away.
No, Jones is staying right on him, but if I'm Bell's spotter, I'm telling him about the 7 car, because Justin Allgaier has consistently been the best car for the last 6 to 8 laps by quite a bit. I mean, he has run these guys down by quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see if he can make quick work of Sam Mayer, and it just seems like that 7 car is one of those cars really good on the long run, and I'm surprised by that, because when I watched practice, I didn't see him have that much stretch pace. Look how close he's getting to the wall, riding that all the way around the corner. He has a lot of confidence in his car to be able to get up there and ride, especially in dirty air, that close behind Sam Mayer. And he likes this bottom lane. You see, almost like sliding up in front of Sam right there. And I would tell you that Justin's history in the series gives him the benefit in those situations. Everyone knows he's not a super dirty racer. You see Jones now going by just for Bell for the lead. Can he complete it though? That's a hard pass.
Oh, did you see the wiggle?
How loose he got right there.
He was there, and just when you're starting to think about sliding up off the corner, it got away from him, and that loss of momentum going to open the door for Justin Allgaier. Here he comes for second.
Yeah, this has been his best passing zone. He's got by the last 3 cars this way. Had that huge run off of turn 2 because of how loose Brandon Jones got. It's going to lose that momentum down the front stretch, but Allgaier's going to have some momentum right here, and he's going to be in the preferred position as cautions come out.
Well, we're halfway through the opening stage, and we get our first caution. And that's too bad. It's for Chris Wright, who's coming off a career best last week at Martinsville and was solid earlier today in qualifying, driving that 5.
Yeah, that's a big hit for the 5 car. It looks like that whole right front is pushed in. He just run at 20.
Go to Ricky Hendrick paint scheme.
Oof. That's not a stripe.
That's a
Just so we're
pancake
clear.
there.
Yeah, that's are you okay?